When over 20 of Egypt's finest temples were threatened by flooding, 51 nations came to the rescue and mounted one of the most ambitious structural moves in history. The Egyptian government had to harness the power of the Nile by building the Aswan High Dam. This massive structure, almost 4 kilometers long, would eventually create a reservoir stretching for 500 kilometers and provide enough electricity to power half of Egypt.
Now, to build the dam is great for Egypt and the Egyptians, for the agricultural land, for electricity, for energy, and so on. But there is always a drawback.
The drawback was that the resulting lake would flood the site of over 20 ancient monuments. The largest and most important were those at Abu Simbel.
The difficulty of moving the temple en masse would have been hugely complex, and you're lifting something which weighs 250,000 tons.
The only practical way was the least appealing, to cut the temples up into small sections for the big move. This idea horrified archaeologists. In fact, Abu Simbel needed to be cut into over 1,000 blocks, each weighing up to 30 tons. But as well as Abu Simbel, there were more than 18 other sacred monuments that needed to be rescued. The Temple of Calabsha was one of them. Built during the reign of the Roman Emperor Augustus, Calabsha was already constructed from blocks rather than being carved out of a mountain. It would provide the perfect opportunity to test the techniques needed to safely move and reassemble Abu Simbel. The only problem was that for most of the year, Calabsha was prone to the seasonal flooding of the Nile, so it was impractical to use traditional moving methods. They had to come up with a different solution.
The first temple to be dismantled was the Temple of Calabsha, which was underwater for 9 months of the year. And so the Germans tackled this problem by working with the falling water.
Rather than try to beat the floods, the German engineering team decided to make use of the changing water levels. They waited until the waters were at their highest and brought in barges to dismantle and move the blocks 50 kilometers to safety. They worked down from the top, layer by layer, as the water level dropped.
To move 16,000 blocks in a very short time scale was a very tight program and a very difficult task to undertake, but it was achieved very successfully, and that gave a great deal of confidence for the moving of Abu Simbel.